A small village, there was an old school where Srimant Babo taught. He was an honest, wise, and experienced teacher. He was almost 70 years old, but he still taught his students with the same dedication. In this school, there were two talented students, Robbie and Sujane. Robbie was extremely hard-working. He spent his whole day memorizing books, studying with great effort, and believing that hard work was the only way to success. Swan was different. He knew that hard work alone was not enough. One also needed the right strategy and intelligence. But there was one big difference between them. Robbie came from a middle-class family, and his only duty was to study. But Sujan was the son of a poor farmer who worked in the fields with his father all day. Su Johan's father, Har El, was a poor farmer. He worked all day in the fields, struggled a lot, but still found it hard to feed his family. One evening, Sujan returned home after working in the field. He was tired and hungry, but he still sat under the dim kerosene lamp and opened his books. His father, in an angry voice, said, "Why are you sitting with those books? You know our condition. We are poor. What will happen if you study?" Sujan tried to hold back his tears in a low voice. He said, "Father, I want to study. I know we are poor, but if I don't study, we will always remain poor." His father sighed deeply. "You don't understand, Swan. Education is for the rich. How will I pay for your studies?" with a trembling voice. Sujan replied, "I am not studying for money, Father. I know that if I work hard today, our lives will change tomorrow." His father remained silent. He just looked at his son's determined face that night. Sujan did not sleep. He wiped his tears and continued studying because he had little time. But big dreams one day, Srimant Babo called both of them and said, "This is my final test for you. Both you have a difficult task ahead." They listened eagerly. The teacher said, "You must go to the top of the mountain and bring me a special flower. The one who brings the flower first will be the winner." Robbie and Sujan both agreed. The next morning, Robbie ran as fast as he could. He sweated in the heat, became exhausted, but did not stop. He kept climbing the steep mountain with great effort. Swan, however, did not rush. He thought, is there an easier way to reach the top? Then he approached an old man and asked, "Is there an easy way to climb this mountain?" The old man smiled and said, "There is a narrow path behind the mountain. If you take that way, it will be much easier." Sujan followed that path. He saved his energy and used his intelligence to reach the destination. On the other hand, Robbie continued his hard climb. His body was exhausted, but he did not stop. Finally, after struggling a lot, Robbie reached the top, but he was shocked. Sujan was already coming down with the flower. Robbie was speechless. How is this possible? I worked so hard, yet Sujan reached first. He could not believe his eyes. Both students stood before the teacher with their flowers. Shri A.B. Babu smiled and said, "Robbie, you worked very hard, but you didn't look for an easier way. You thought that the more you suffer, the more successful you will be. But life is not just about hard work. It is also about smart work." He then turned to Sujane and said, "Sujane, you used intelligence, but always looking for shortcuts is not right. Remember, smart work only succeeds when it is combined with hard work." Tears filled Robbie's eyes. He said, "I understand now, Guruji. Hard work alone is not enough. We must also know the right strategy." Sujan lowered his head and said, "I understand too. Always choosing the easiest way is not right. Success does not come without hard work." The teacher placed his hands on their heads and said, This lesson will guide you for life to succeed. You must not only work hard, but also work smart. But remember, intelligence alone is not enough without hard work. Success is never permanent." Many years later, Robbie became a great scientist. He learned to balance hard work with smart work. Sujan became a successful entrepreneur. He not only used intelligence but also worked hard to achieve success. One day, they both visited their teacher. Shanta Babu was now very old, but there was a satisfied smile on his face. Both of them said together, "Guruji, your last test made us successful in life." Tears filled the teacher's eyes. He said, "I always knew you both would become great, because the secret to success is simple, the perfect balance of hard work and intelligence." Hence, looking at their teacher's smiling face, Robbie and Swan were filled with emotions, lessons from the story. Hard work is good, but without smart work, success takes longer. Always looking for shortcuts is not right. Success without effort does not last to succeed in life. We need both hard work and intelligence.